Moana to Al, good afternoon. How are you, faithful? Captain Niner coming to you with the Captain, well, just to watch on the Captain Coffee Morning Show. That's not quite back yet. That's coming back in another couple of weeks once I'm done for the year working. I guess it would be done for the year working. But yeah, welcome to the watch party slash, excuse me, what do you call this? Watch parties, play-by-play along thingamajiggies we've got going on here today. Obviously, it is the Rams and the 49ers. We are back at home at the Field of Dreams. As usual, I am on a stream, so I am going to probably most likely be a little bit behind on things, so please forgive me on that. I'm just waiting for the stream to come up and to make sure that I'll bring up the what do you call it? The screen part once it flips over on Yahoo Sports. Just waiting for that, which should be anytime soon. So obviously, should be a good game. Division rivals we got going on today. Can't wait to see what goes on. Obviously, with the McVay Shanahan. This is up so high. With the McVay Shanahan game, it's always going to be a little crazy. Oh, that's why. That's it. Yes. Oh, so we got Tom Brady on the broadcast. I knew that there was a reason why we were getting a whole lot of the Tom Brady hate and everything about him not caring about the Niners because we passed on him and all that. We should be honest. I think I'd be mad at my team too if they passed on me with that whole situation. But I guess that's the reason why we've been hearing a whole lot of Tom Brady with everything this week. So that makes sense now. Let's hit refresh, see if this comes up. Nope, not yet. So we're still waiting. Obviously, we got Mac Jones again starting at quarterback, going up against Matthew Stafford, and our former quarterback backing up Stafford in Jimmy G. I don't want to see Matthew Stafford get hurt, but I wouldn't mind seeing Jimmy G out there just to see what this defense would do against him. It would be interesting. Let's be honest. To see Jimmy G in a Rams outfit and coming up and doing that would just be insane to see. I mean, funny as hell to see, to be honest with you. So, no odds. All right, so let's go with the odds real quick. Let's go ahead. Let's just switch over to this. Yeah, the stream sucks right now. All right, looks like they are getting ready to kick off here in just a second. Reset my streams here real quick. All right, here we go. Looks like the Niners will be kicking off, and we'll obviously get the back. Hopefully, we get the back and back. Let's just go to this. They showed up. And here we go with the kickoff coming up here in just a second with Ed EP. Probably the MVP of the Niners right now. All right, let's go to the game channel, and we will get this going. So the Rams get the ball, taking up to the 28, 25 to the 30, to getting up to about the 36-yard line. Good return for the start for the Rams on that one. Let's see what it is. I know Stafford gets the big the headlines. Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Higbee. The person I'm worried about most today, honestly, it's going to be what's his name? Kyron Williams. There it is. All right, here we go. Niners on defense. Stream is buffering. All right, we got one in motion. Put trips down to the bottom. Matthew fakes the handoff going. He's going to be taking a deep shot to start the game. Up to Puka Nacua. Looks like. Nope, that wasn't Puka. Looks like that was Ferguson he was taking the long shot to. That was deliberate. Jair Brown, look, as hard as I have been on Jair Brown, it's not his cover aspect. The part of Jair Brown that drives me absolutely nuts is his inability to tackle very well. All right, so we got 2 to the bottom, 2 up top, 1 in the shotgun with him. Leland Farrell getting a good push. Now there's another throw to Devontae Adams. He covers with Demo and Bethune getting over there to get the tackle, the stop on that one after a gain of about 12 or so. Let's see if they go heavy with the passing or if they actually go back to the run with, us having a little bit of a run defense issue. They probably want to get a quick strike and then go to the run is what I would assume. All right, we got 1 up top with Nakua, 1 in motion. Now he's coming back, so we got 2 to the bottom. Kyron Williams deep in the back with 7 off. Puka Nakua going to the backfield. Fake the handoff to Williams. Matthew is thrown out of the hands of Puka Nakua. That is very unlike him. It's a good, decent. I mean, it wasn't the greatest pass, but I mean, it's one that Nakua usually picks up. So we got 2nd and 10 here. All right, so the starting defense, we got Huff, Davis, Elliott, and Okawanu. Linebackers, we got Gifford, Bethune, and Winters. Winters has been playing a little bit. And then we got Green, Brown, Mustafa, and Lenore for the DBs. All right, let's see. We got 2 and 2 here on this 2nd and 10. Atwell doesn't look like he knows what he's doing, or maybe he's looking for something. 4-man rush, going to the sideline. That is caught by Puka Nakua right at the first down line. Let's see if they actually give it. Yep, they're going to give it to him. So it's going to be 1st and 10 Rams. Basically two big passing plays to start the game off for the Rams to get them, for their 2nd first down of the game. All right, here we go. Got a couple of tight ends in the game now. Let's see if they can actually give the handoff to Kyron Williams. Yep, there he goes, right up the middle. Goes up the middle for about 12. That's their running game that we're talking about that's going to be having issues today. Can we actually stop? Kyron Williams, to me, is a very punchable face. I don't know the man. He's probably a very nice guy. But the way he talks and everything just makes me want to punch him in the face. All right, you got Atwell in motion, so 2 up top, 2 to the bottom. Now Puka, going to the line of scrimmage. Handoff once again to Kyron Williams, who gets about 2.5 to 3 on that one. And they're talking about right now, the Kyle and McVay being good friends and how good of a rivalry this is within his. A lot of times this is our get-right game, as TJ calls it. For whatever reason, we put things together against the Rams. All right, here we go. Ooh, look at this set. We got everybody to the bottom of the set here. All 3 tight ends, it looks like, at the bottom. But there, D. Winters with his hands up. Ferguson going to be about 2.5 yards short of the first down. Or it's Allen, actually. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right, let's see what they come up here with on this 2nd or 3rd and 2nd. Can the defense get a stop here? Come on, boys, let's go. Got a timeout calling. Looks like that was Kyle that called the timeout. The flag. I'm not sure if that was just a thing of them putting it out there. Looks like we're going to have about 12 men on the field, hence the reason why they called the timeout real quick. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, man, I wish I could be at the game. It looks like a beautiful day out there in the Bay Area. Devontae Adams up there. So far, the defense has been exactly what we think it is. It's been a very bendy but not break. We're going to give up big chunks of plays. It's like we can't just get someone who takes 4 yards. It's always like 8, 9, 10. So let's see what they do. Again, it's 2nd and 2. We got 11:28 to go in the first quarter. 2 up top and Devontae Adams in the bottom. Kyron Williams in the backfield. Here comes Tutu Atwell. Hand up the middle, up to Kyron Williams, who breaks it up the middle, getting down to about the 13-yard line. Once again, just straight up the middle on these Niners. We are just not good when it comes to running the ball up the middle. It's just that simple. We are absolutely pathetic on it. All right, 1st and 10 here from about the 13-yard line. It looks like about the 15-yard line. Take the handoff to Kyron. Matthew Stafford rolling out, looking to Devontae Adams, who gets down to about the 1 or 2 yard line. Put your phone away, brother. Whoever that guy was down there, by the time he gets your phone out and take a picture, he's already going to be back on the sideline. Or back on the field, I should say. All right, 1st and goal for the Rams on, looks like the 3-yard line. Hand off to Kyron Williams off the left side, and he goes for the touchdown. Impressive drive for the Rams to start the game off to go up 6, possibly 7. Again, they're just running it up the middle. Those 8 to 10-yard patterns is where they get us every time. Our defensive line is just not getting any push, not getting anything on that. All right, here they go with the field goal, trying to make it to the full 7. It's up, and it is good. So in almost 5-minute drive, the Rams will drive it down and take the lead over the Niners, 7-0. We'll be right back with them. All right, we are back after the Rams took the ball down to the first possession and scored to take the lead 7-0. Let's see what the Niners can do on offense as we get the ball back with Mac Jones. And I'll say this with the defense of the Niners. This has been a thing that Saleh has done throughout his career, especially with us. is that first drive, it almost looks like the Niners defense doesn't exist. And then all of a sudden, sometimes it takes the first quarter, but then he just shuts everything down. So we'll see how it comes after that. Brian Robinson going to take the knee, so we'll be bringing the ball out at the 25-yard line. So we have Mac Jones in the offense coming out here with CMC, Kittle, Kendrick Bourne, Trent Williams, the usual suspects that we've had this year. Obviously, Brock Purdy is, week to week at this point. Who knows what's going on with that? We still haven't seen Ayuk. Even if we do see Ayuk, I don't even think we're going to see the full version of Ayuk until next year. Looks like we have a flag somewhere, maybe, because we are walking it forward. All right, here we go. Juice in motion. Throw it, of course. Nice catch by Jennings there, picking up about 6 or 7 on that one. Well, Jake Brendel is back in at center, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see how that turns out, or if he will be on a short leash. All right, we got 2 up top. Jennings in, moving a little bit closer. Kittle in motion. Toss out the CMC up the middle or to the right side, and he just gets pushed back. They say yard, didn't even look like that. This Rams defensive line, to me, honestly, with Braden Fisk, Poona Ford, and Kobe Turner, one of the best defensive lines. Their front 7 in general, because you add in Jared Verse and then Byron Young on the outside, and you've got an amazing front 7. Their back guys, not so much, but this front 7 is just going to put pressure on all day long. All right, here we go. 3rd and 2nd to start the Niners drive. Mac back to pass, throwing it to the middle. Oh, it was in and out of the hands of Jennings. And we're punting. Oh, come on. That should have been a penalty. That was some BS. That was some fucking BS right there. So Niners are back. Morstead's on the punt for the Niners. And he's up with the punt. Going to field it at about the 10-yard line or so and gets out to about the 14, 15-yard line. Good punt and coverage by the special teams for the Niners on a bullshit missed call on Jennings not catching that ball. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. Niners the ball with the first quick 3-and-out for them. Jake Brendel, welcome back. Still can't block for shit. So no surprise there as Jake Brendel watches CMC get tackled again. The man spends more time watching than he does actually playing football. He's got great seats since most of the time he's on his ass in the middle of the field. So let's see if this defense tightens up and see if we can hold the Rams to something, or if they'll score, push down the field again. They're going to go 85 yards to score on this one. All right, here we go. Hand off to Kyren Williams. He gets stuck in the backfield. There is a flag down, but Kyren Williams goes down. It looks like about a loss of 1 on the play. We'll see what the flag is. Offsides, of course. That's Cleveland Farrell, who's lining up in the neutral zone, apparently. Well, Kenny, it's too early to necessarily say that we suck, but we're definitely looking like we're going to be doing that. All right, we got 1 in motion to make it 2 down at the bottom. Fake the handoff to Kyren Williams. Matthew Stafford's under pressure. Defensive line chasing him. He gets the ball out, so they'll get that. So it'll be the 2nd and 5, 2nd and 5 still coming up. Some decent pressure coming up for the line for the first time this game. NFC North looks like Green Bay is still in the lead with a 5-2-1 record. All right, let's see what the Rams do here on 2nd and 5. They got the tight formation at the bottom. Got 1 up top. Devontae Adams is in motion. We're going to fake the handoff slightly. Throw it to the tight end for the first down. Tackled by Jair Brown. We're just not getting any sort of pressure on him, right? For the most part. At least on that play. That's when we had some. Let's see what they do on this 1st and 10. They continue to move. We are down to 7:45 to go in the first quarter. Tight formation with Devontae Adams out again. Tight end getting the ball. Kyren Williams grabs the ball, cuts up the middle, hits the outside, gets about 20 on that one. Oh, that's Blake Corum, excuse me. I'm so used to Kyren Williams, burning us. It's automatic to say his name. Gifford with a missed tackle, but it was a good block by the tight end coming around on that one. They got 2 up top, taking the handoff, going deep over the middle, and that is Devontae Adams under about the 35-yard line of the Niners. They are just moving the ball with ease on this Niners defense right now. Perfect passing window there for Matthew Stafford. Well, Tatum Bethune, who is in for the injured Fred Warner, is down on the field right now. We'll see what's going on with that. We'll be right back. All right, and so that is Tatum Bethune going into the blue tent. So it's going to be what? Curtis Robinson taking over in that position, I'm assuming. Niners with the blitz on there going up the middle. They've got the screen going. Oh, they're going to get around the screen. They're going to go. Tutu Atwell getting down to about the 20-yard line or so. Big play by the Rams offense, just carving us up. Apparently, they are getting ready for Thanksgiving dinner. It's 123 yards to 8. Damn. That's all I can say is damn. So it is Curtis Robinson. Play action by Rams. Matthew Stafford working around, going deep to nobody. Just throwing that one away. Looks like they were going for something quick on that one. Hey, look, there's Matt Hennessy standing on the sideline. Something we should probably maybe put him in the game. All right, here we go. They've got all 5 people out wide on the start of this play. Matthew Stafford in the shotgun by himself. He's back in the blitz. Going to throw the screen out to Puka Nacua. And he's going to break a few tackles. And he's going in the end zone because the 49ers can't tackle for shit as usual. Can't tackle. Tackling is optional. We look like shit right now. Oh. Puka Nacua with the touchdown. This is going to get ugly quickly, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. All right. Rams kickoff taken after taking the lead, extending the lead, 14-0, and Brian Robinson, or is it Sky Moore? One of the two of them took a knee back. Looks like that was Sky Moore. So Bethune is out of the tent. We'll see if he's in the game when he can just come back out on defense. All right, we got two to the bottom, Mac in the shotgun. Hand off to CMC, cuts back up over the middle, gets about 2.5 to 3 on that carry. Not going to be going far right in the middle on these guys. Everybody keep an eye on fucking Drake Brendel. Let's see how shitty he plays. And let's, just, it's amazing how much of a difference it's looked with Hennessy in there versus Brendel. All right, we got two in motion. Kendrick Moore now going in motion. Mac back to pass, and we have a flag. Little offsides on that one? Or false start, I should say. Number 15, that's going to be Juwan Jennings. All right, offense, let's do something. We got kill in motion going down to the bottom, one up top. Mac obviously in the shotgun, and we live there now. He is back to pass, probably going to throw over the middle to George Kittle, who makes a leaping catch. If anybody was, that was definitely a hospital-style ball on that one. On the fingertips by Kittle on that one. All right, here we go. Take the handoff. Mac going back. Mac's got time. Mac throwing over the middle to Juwan Jennings. Get the first down, but there is a flag on the play. We'll see if this is coming back. Hey, we got a flag for us this time. All right, come on, let's go offense. Let's do something. Throw some life. All right, so we got 3:30 left to go. We got one up top, two at the bottom. Mac back to pass. Mac throwing, looking over the middle. That ball is deflected. Going for McCaffrey. Tired. All right, here we go. We got two up top, one at the bottom with Kittle. Got one in motion. Mac back to pass. CMC just got run over. Juwan Jennings with a nice catch over the middle. Fumbles the ball after he gets it. Rams have got the ball and they're pushing it back down the field. Oh. And the good times keep rolling, folks. Rams take the ball after Juwan Jennings the fumble. They're back. All right, we are back. Kyron Williams the run up the middle. Let's see. Come on, Salah. I mean, we gotta get mad at Salah. I mean, we got no Bosa, no Michael, no Alfred Collins, no Fred Warner. I mean, diminishing returns on anybody we put out there at this point. Oh, come on, stream, come back. Let's move to a different stream. Let's see what happens. Looks like there was a chance for an interception for Jair Brown, but looks like it touched the ground. Come on, guys. Give me a good fucking stream here. We got 3rd and 6 right here, and the see what the how the Rams come out of the huddle and see what they're doing. All right, we've got 4 to the bottom, 1 up top. Now we are shifting to put 2 and 2. 3, 2, 1, 3rd and 6. Throwing over the middle to Puka Nakua, who's got the first down. That's a freaking good run or route by Puka Nakua. All right, we got 2 to the bottom, 1 up top, 1 in the backfield with Stafford. 2 Atwell in motion. Hand off to Kyrie Williams going up the middle. Just running it down the throats for about 7 or 8 yards on that one. Yeah, like I said, what are you supposed to do? At some point, as much this defense, actually, probably say this team in the last 3 to 4 years, we've never actually seen this team at its full capacity. This Death Star has never been complete. All right, we have Atwell in motion. Now he's coming back, changing the play or at least the coverage. Telling him to get in here. Or Xavier Smith. I thought that was a Tutu Atwell. Hell, I haven't run the whole time. All right, we will be right back. Oh, nope, it won't be that long. They're just looks like they're just doing a quick 30-second commercial. Yeah, it's going to be a long day, ladies and gentlemen. A long day. All right, here we go. To the back, Devontae Adams up top. Nope. Bethune was faking it. He's came back. Bethune is going. And they run right up to where he was. They got the first down. And about 7 or 8 more afterwards. Just, it's easy for them. All right, Stafford with a hand up again off the middle. They are getting about 1 or so on that one, so we got a little bit better on that one. Bethune leading the league in tackles since taking over for what's his name? Fred Warner. Yeah, R.I.P. to Paul Tagliabue. That was the commissioner for me growing up. Um, Sucks the way he went out, but hope he's at peace now with everything that's going on with that was, I guess it was Parkinson, some issues with his Parkinson's that he had. Oh, and we will be right back after this commercial since we're gonna be on one too. All right, Rams with the ball. Start the second quarter. Maybe not screen, just dump off inside the 10-yard line for Higbee on that one. This one's getting ugly in a hurry, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very ugly in a hurry. All right, 14-35. Let's see where they go. Ball on the 9-yard line. They've got two up top, one to the bottom, one in motion. Handoff going up the middle, moving the pile down to about the 4.5-yard line. I make the playoffs when you get BTA. It's still too early to throw in the towel, Tommy. That's all I'm going to say. I know I understand your feeling on that, but it's still too early to throw in. You're still 6-3, even if in this game we're 6-4. Matthew Stafford running, throwing it to the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Looks like that was Demo giving up on that one. Congrats to Matthew Stafford. That's number 400 on his career. It was decent pressure that we were trying to get with these guys, but just nothing at the end. Nope. He just snuck between Demo and somebody else. I'm not sure who else that was, but so start the second quarter. The Niners give up the third touchdown of the game. Rams up 21-0. Well, 20 right now, about to be 21 here in about half a second. It's up and it is good. So it is officially 21-0 the Rams. It's an ass beating today, boys. It's an ass beating. We'll be right back. Hey, Tommy, I do remember you saying the 60-0 on Friday's show. I do remember that. You never know. What's up, Sully? How you doing, brother? They blame it on Lynch and the front office for not making any moves in the trade deadline. They knew our weakness and they still didn't do any shit about it. The problem with making a move, Sully, was the fact that we don't have a whole lot of draft capital right now. I think we have one, two, three. Technically, we don't have a fourth right now. Or no, we don't have a fifth. We don't have a sixth. Something like that. I have to go back and look at the notes. But yeah, we don't have a lot to actually trade for right now. We don't have. So unless you were bound and determined that we can win the Super Bowl this year, and then we were just one person away, I kind of get it. Oop. Mac Jones back to pass, throwing it over the middle to CMC. CMC getting two-man tackled. Meanwhile, the Seattle is beating the Cardinals. Going to be 35-0 here before halftime. I try telling everybody, and everybody's trying to tell me I was stupid, that the Seattle's draft the last couple of years have been magnificent drafts. CMC getting the ball, going up the middle, gets the first down, and about 2 more yards afterwards. But yeah, everybody was saying that I didn't know what I was talking about. And I was like, look, the Seattle draft over the last couple of years they have had magnificent drafts, and that they were going to be a problem. Their offensive line is solid. Their defensive line is solid. All right, we got Kittle in motion for 2 up top and 1 at the bottom. Jennings going across the formation. Toss to CMC coming towards the bottom. Gets stopped after about 2 to 3 yards on that one. Yeah, we'll see if Kyler ends the season as a Cardinal or if they'll move on from him after this year. I've said for the last couple of years, I think Kyler plays football like someone who's just quiet quitting. He feels like he's just kind of there. Doesn't really want to be there. He's just playing football because it's a paycheck to him. All right, we got 2 up top for the Niners. 1 Juice at the bottom and Brian Robinson in the game. Mac back, quick throw over the middle to George Kittle. George Kittle breaking the tackle, running over and through a few people for a gain of about 20 on that one. Kittle trying to get the crowd fired up. George Kittle just trying. I don't know how much he can do with his offense right now, but all right. We've got 1 up top. We got 2 backs with CMC and Robinson in. Been wanting to see that for forever. Or not, it's Juice, excuse me. Pitch out to Brian Robinson behind Juice. He gets the corner. Gets about to the first. Looks like he got to the first down line on that one. That was a very interesting play concept. A short toss to Brian Robinson with Juice in motion. All right, we are down into the red zone area. Let's see if we get some points. Hand out to Brian Robinson going up the middle. Getting nowhere. Got about 2 yards on that. The problem was that the Bengals were not letting him go for anything. The Bengals are, can we all be honest here? The Bengals front office is probably the worst in the NFL. They were overplaying their hand with what they thought they could get for Hendrickson, and it's going to cost them because now he's going to walk. They're not going to do anything this season. But yeah, I mean, Hendrickson wasn't going to fix the problems on this team. All right, Mac Jones back to pass. Mac looking over the middle of CMC with a nice catch, getting about 7 on that one. He would make a difference, but he's not going to fix all of the problems on this team across the board. So we get Trey Hendrickson. We're still low on defensive tackles and defensive ends, or we don't have that much talent there. Because all we're doing, if we still had Michael, yes, I would agree with you. Michael basically becomes the new Bosa, and then we're back up to par for what we were to start the season. But with losing Michael, I think that takes it to a whole other level down. Hand off to CMC up the middle. Looks like he is going to be about a half yard short on the first down. 4th and 1, just sneak it. Just go for it, Kyle. I know we got Eddie P back there, and Eddie P does not miss a whole lot. But let's just keep going with this one. And then we still haven't addressed the issues with the offensive line. I don't understand why Jake Brendel is in playing today. I've already seen Jake Brendel a few times just staring, which is what he does. Terrible. He's absolutely terrible when it comes to that. All right. Let's see if we get the first down on this one. Hand off to CMC. He's going to cut up, and he is not going to make it. Why would we do that? Why is that the play call there, Kyle? Mac Jones has been fucking awesome at just sneaking. And to be honest, this Niners team with Kyle has been awesome with just sneaks up the middle for getting, half yards to a yard. Why go away from something like that? Or here's a crazy idea. You've got a great power back in Brian Robinson. Let him run it up the middle. But no, as usual, the crutch that is Kyle Shanahan is that he gets too cute. He thinks he can outthink everybody, outplay everybody. And so once again, he does the long handoff to CMC when, like I said, just go straight up the middle. It has worked infinite amount of times. But no, again, he just does something dumb like that. And so the Rams now are going to take over inside the 15-yard line. All right, we'll be right back. All right, let's see if this defense can stop anything. We have the Rams. We got 8:40 left to go in the second quarter. Rams taking the ball over on the 21st-yard line. Running the ball just stomped into the backfield. Looks like he just ran it. Kalia Davis just pushing his man back and just dropped Corum to the ground. Boo. Talk about running into the wall. Here we go. Let's see what's Phi Lewis saying. Disagree right now. The Rams not double teaming anyone. Which Hendricks they would double team or even triple team him. Yeah, but like I said, I think the loss of Michael, if Michael was still around, because Michael was having a great year. He didn't have the numbers, but you watch that young man, the way he was setting the edge, great. Now, who do we really have to set the edge? We don't have that physical run stopper like Michael. We got a flag on the play here. What do we got? Why is the ref just sitting there smiling? Because we had 12 fucking players on the field. Come on, Salah, fix your shit. We still had a chance, is all I'm saying. Like, but with the loss of Michael on top of everything, and like I said, and it also goes back to with Trey Hendrickson, more than likely you were on a 1-year rental. Are you willing to give up what the Bengals wanted for a 1-year player? All right. We got 3rd and 6 coming up here for the Rams. Can we get a stop here? Get some good field position. Nope, we're going to blow it dead again for some reason. Did we actually get a timeout here by the Rams? Looks like we did. You know, the first quarter was flying, but the second quarter seems to be taking forever. But yeah, so the Rams, we'd have Trey Hendrickson on, what would appear to be a 1-year deal, and you're putting a lot in on 1 year, and we don't know, it doesn't fix the issues with the offense, Will BA come back? Even if and when BA comes back, I still don't think we're going to see a full 100% BA this year. He's going to be, just getting back into shape. So we'll see. I think we'll see a full BA, 100% BA healthy next season. All right, come on, D. Let's get a stop here. We got a 3rd and 6 here. 7:01 left to go in the half. Four-man rush. Oh, he just throws it over the hands of Ferguson, who did have a step on his man. Now that said, I'm not going to say you were wrong on that aspect. I wanted us to make some sort of a move. I just didn't think spending anything more than like a third for Hendrickson, for someone who isn't going to fix all the problems on this team. That's the kind of player you pick up when you know you're just one player. If it was just Nick Bosa, we still had Fred. Yeah, I think that's an easy one that we give up, maybe a second on that one. Sky Moore with the return, grabs it at the 40, gets to the 50, cuts back, gets back to the other 40, gets down to the 35-yard line. Nice return by Sky Moore. Nice 27-yard return for the young man. Hey, you never know. Let's score here. Let's get a little bit of a longer one. Get the ball back, start the second quarter or start the second half. We could be right back in this game. All right, come on, offense. One up top, one on the bottom. We got one of them. Kendrick in motion. Mac back to pass. Mac's looking, running over. Throwing to CMC. CMC gets about a yard on that one. A whole lot of moving around for not a whole lot having going on. I would like to see Hennessy start the second quarter, start the second half, see what happens with that. All right, we got 2 up top for Mac. He's in the shotgun. We got 2 to the bottom, including CMC. It's an empty backfield. Throwing right over the middle. Who was that? That's Juwan Jennings hanging on to the ball for the first down. Yes, a second. He is worth Yes, a second. He is worth more than the third. We lose him. We still got a third round competition. Yes. But my thing is that do you honestly believe you put Trey Hendrickson on this team, he fixes everything? I don't. As good as I think Hendrickson is, I don't think he fixes anything. Quick toss out to CMC, going to hit the corner, and maybe get half a yard on that one. As good as he is, I just don't think he fixes all the problems. We're still missing Fred. Like I said, if we still had one of the 2 others, if we had Fred and or Nick, you give up that second because I think he is worth a second. But again, that's how, I don't think he fixes everything. I got 2 to the bottom. Hand off to Brian Robinson right up the middle. He stuffs one guy, gets about another yard, so he's about maybe 2 on that one. My thing is I don't want to give up. I keep hitting the button. I don't want to give up too much if it's not going to be a guarantee. And I don't think that even with someone the talent level of Trey Hendrickson brings that guarantee up more to the point to where he'd be worth a second for me. Mac throwing over the middle to CMC, or that's Kittle, who does not make the catch. Are we not going to give a penalty flag on that one? Are we going for it, Kyle? Go for it, Kyle. At this point, what else we got to lose? So we got 4 minutes left to go in the second quarter and the first half. It is 4th and 2. We got some flags. So not a flag. We got some whistles. Timeout by somebody. All right, so it's the Rams on the timeout. Man, Juwan does not drop that ball, and this is a whole different game because, man, Juwan just doesn't make the play. He still makes good plays. He just doesn't make them enough. He said drops to where he wouldn't have drops in years before. It's so weird how the whole contract thing has just changed him so much. What are we at right now? Let's see. 203 yards to 120. The one turnover, 15-6 on touchdowns, or excuse me, on first downs. That might have been a catch by Kittle there. Let's see what they're really on the field if it changes on it. I'll take it. All right, 4th and 2. Come on, boys. It's a long 2. What are the odds this goes to Kittle and or CMC? I doubt anybody else is even in the running to get this ball. The throws on Kittle. Kittle with the flag. Nice catch by Kittle. Good throw by Mack. Hey, basically was tackling before he even got the ball on that one. First down inside the 10-yard line. Looks like we're about the 7-yard line. Oh, man, my hands are itching. It's winter, so my eczema is really kicking my ass right now. All right, we got 3:30 to go. Ball is on the 7-yard line. Let's see what we can do here, boys. We got 2 at the bottom. Juwan Jennings in motion. Now he's coming back across the formation again. Mack back to throw. Throws it really quickly. Juwan Jennings for the touchdown. I was just talking shit about the man, and there he is. 3rd and 1 with a touchdown, bringing the Niners back on the board, or putting them back on the board. Nicely played, gentlemen. Nice drive by the Niners offense on that one after a good punt return, or kickoff return. Punt kick. Either way, Sky Moore, good return. And Eddie P with the extra point. Up and good. We needed that. Desperately needed that one. All right, be right back. Going to commercial. All right, we are back, and yes, Failua, you are correct. Let's get this 3 and out, maybe get a field goal, and then guess what? We get the ball to start the second quarter, the second half. We can be right back in this real quickly. All right, here we go. Rams will bring the ball out to the 10. He's at the 20. He gets to about the 30-yard line. Let's see what we can do with this. Come on, defense. You guys just proved it. You can get a 3 and out. Let's do it on this one. All right, here we go. Matthew Stafford and the Rams come out. One in motions. We got 2 up top, 1 on the bottom. Take the handoff. We're getting clean pocket. Getting out there. D. Winters missing a tackle. Why does this team miss so many tackles? All right, here we go. We got 2 to the bottom, 1 up top. Stafford back. Stafford's got a pretty clean pocket. Has to duck one. Getting sacked back there. Kalia Davis. And Keon White, the new pickup from the Patriots, already paying dividends. Definitely a coverage sack. Keon White had a better job or a better set, but he just slipped. All right, we got third and 8 here. And we have hit the 2-minute warning. So we got a commercial coming up. The Rams will have a 3rd and 8 coming up at the 2-minute warning. Be right back. All right, let's see what happens here on this 3rd and 8 with the Rams. All right, we got trips to the bottom. Matthew Stafford back to pass, throwing it over the middle. Devontae Adams with a big catch going over the middle to about the 50-yard line. All right, come on, boys. Let's hold them. Let's not give any points. Matthew Stafford back to pass. Stepping up in the pocket, throwing it. Set. Another first down by Devontae Adams. Another good catch. Oh, man, my eczema's killing me. All right, Matthew Stafford back to pass again. Looks like we got a little bit of blitz coming. Stafford going deep. Devontae Adams covered well by Ronaldo Green. All right, let's see. We got second and 10 coming up here. All right, we got two up top with the tight end, one at the bottom, and then we got the running back in the backfield. We have 3, 2, 1, just barely getting the ball off. Niners bringing everybody, just throwing it away just to make sure he doesn't take the sack on that one. Good job with the Niners defense on that play. So we got a big 3rd and 10 coming up. Why are we not bringing more people like that? That's what we're going to have to do to get to these guys. All right, 3rd and 10. Stafford back throwing over the middle, and it is almost picked off by Ronaldo Green. Oh, man. Let's see what we got going on here. All right, they're going to be punting it to us here. Kick is up. And it's going to bounce to about maybe the 18-yard line. Dun, 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 dun. Shout out to all the vets who have served. Thank you very much. Obviously, I did not serve. I have a bum knee that would not let me, but I am a military brat, so I grew up, being on a military base and everything my whole life. Thank you to everybody for letting me be the asshole that I am today. All right, Niners take over at looks like the 16-yard line. A minute 6 to go. Let's see if we get a field goal out of this. Back by Jones, back to throw, deep throw. Jennings over the middle, getting up to about 30 on that one. Up to about the 30-yard now. We need I'd say about another good 15, 20 yards for a good field goal for ADP. Throwing it over the middle again. That's DeMarcus Robinson. All right, so we're just on the cusp of field goal range here. Nice layered throw by that one to Jennings by Mac. Okay, according to the map, we are just on the inside of ADP's window. We'll see if we can get it. Obviously, you want to get a little bit closer. Still got 37 seconds left. We got one more timeout. We can still take a deep shot, or even do like maybe a screen kind of situation. All right, here we go. Ooh, you were forcing that one, buddy. That was a little bit forceful. Oh, come on. That should be a fucking flag on that. Good play by McCaffrey spiking it so that they don't get it. That's fucking bullshit on that. That is two on. Was the other one on JJ? Yeah, that is two that JJ has had today that we didn't get the pass interference on. All right. Well, delay a game. Come on. I know the fans are. Man, we are really fucking. All right, let's see what we can do. We got trips up top, two to the bottom. Come on, boys. Let's get a field goal over there. Pushing it up on one side, going over the middle again. Come on. You guys have got to do something else besides that same route over and over. It's going to get us picked. So we got 3rd and 15 coming up. They're trying to live and die by that over the middle route. And while it does work at times, we've got to have something to the outside. All right, here we go. Jones throwing it out to Kittle. Kittle's going to get it at the 50. Gets on about the 47 or so. Why do the refs hate us so much? Seriously. Fuck. Could have done something with that. We really could have. All right, Morstead with the punt. They're going to wave it off and down it at the 5-yard line. Good punt. They are just going to go ahead and just down this. And the Rams can't be stupid enough to try and do something, right? Let's be honest. Yep. They're going to take the knee. So we are going to be switching over. Let's go over to the box score. Do this one. All right. Let's see. How does this one work? This one work? Yep. All right. So we'll do this one for this right now. All right. So the Niners are going to be going into the half after what honestly could have been worse. Could have been better. Could have been worse. But the Niners are down 21-7 to the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams came out just, high firepower, running all over the place, getting big chunks, both in the air and on the ground. Let me pause this, or at least mute it, so I don't have to hear it while I do this. Let's take a look at the box score here. Pull it back up. All right, so total yards, we got 231 to 182. It's not as big as a discrepancy as I thought. First downs is 17-10. Total plays was 37-29. 17 first downs to 10. Third down efficiency, they were 3 of 5. We are 0 of 4. Terrible. They were 0 for 0 on fourth down. We were 1 of 4 on fourth down. The first fourth down that we tried, Kyle was like a yard, man, but you try to get a little bit too fancy with it, toss out the CMC. Just go for it, man. Penalties, they have 0. That's bullshit. They should have at least 2 to 3. 2 to 3. Uh, let's see if they have to score on their first drive. Yeah, we have to get some sort of points when we come out of the locker room. That's to get something, to get some momentum back, to get it actually just to get it rolling at this point. But yeah, definitely we should have had that 0 should at least be 2 to 3 minimum, because there was the 2 on Jennings that I can think of, and I think there was another one on Kittle. So there was 3 pass interferences not called on the Rams when they were it was blatant. Total plays 37, average yards is 6.2. We're actually outgaining them in average gain per play. We've got net yards 168, 1 sack for the Rams, excuse me, and 1565, 1655 to 1305 when it comes to time possession. So it wasn't as bad towards the end of it. We got Matthew Stafford, who was 14 of 23, 173, obviously with the 2 touchdowns and 1 sack. Mac Jones doing the usual quarterback for the Niners first half, 15 of 19, 151 yards, 1 touchdown. But yeah, like I said, again, should have much more with the fact that there was no pass interference call on some of those guys. The Rams right now, they've got Kyron Williams leading them with 9 for 50 with a 5.6 average. For the Niners, is this rushing? Yeah, it is rushing. Actually, Brian Robinson, he's got 3 attempts for 17 yards, while Christian McCaffrey's got 7 for 14. Again, you're not going to get much, especially up the middle where we've been living on this Rams front. That Ram front of Kobe Turner, Braden Frisk, and Puna Ford are just too much. We have Roberto in the house. How you doing, brother? Perfect position for a statement comeback. Agreed. We had a chance there at the end to get some points. Obviously, there's a little bullshit call there, but you just go with that. And then, like I said, we get the ball back, and we're only down a score. So again, like both you and Failua have said, we are not out of this by any means. And the defense seems to be tightening up a little bit. Saleh has a history of doing that. Is that at first it looks really ugly, and then he tightens up. The question is, did we give up too much for them in the beginning for them to actually, to tighten up part to where it becomes a thing? As far as receiving goes, we got the Rams are led by Devontae Adams with 5 for 75, and then Puka Nakua's got 3 for 47. For the Niners, Juwan Jennings has got 6 for 71. Kittle's got 5 for 56. Yeah, like I said, it could have been a lot worse. The way that this game was started off, we almost looked like it was going to end up being like, I guess, with the Rams, there's going to be Cardinals and Seahawks right now. Seahawks went into halftime 35-0. We did not do that, so obviously we stopped some of that bleeding there. We'll see which is good, but we'll see if we can, not only stop the bleeding, but let's get them to bleed a little bit. Going to second half. Can we please get Brian Robinson in more? He's obviously having some effect on things, especially at this point in the season. Guys are starting to get tired a little bit. Maybe we can get that defensive front to wear down a little bit with the heavier running that Brian Robinson brings, and then maybe we can start taking those shots that we see Mac Jones wanted to take. We need a little bit more of a variety instead of just throwing these layer throws over the middle. Yes, he is making them, but at some point, that's one of those is going to get caught for interception, and one almost did. Now that one was another one of those ones that should have been called for pass interference. But eventually, one of those dudes, we need something on the outside or something that is a short pass to where we can get some yardage afterwards. Whether it be a screen to CMC, screen to Kittle, something along those lines. All right, that's the halftime show for right now. I will be right back at the start of the second half. Go run to the bathroom and get something to eat. BRB. See you guys in the start of the second half. All right, here we go with the Niners coming back to start the second half, getting the ball back. Yeah, it makes sense. Mac Jones actually had a pretty good self-inflicted. Is good. This should be like the theme of this year's team. Because how many times have we seen this team actually play a good series here and there, a good quarter, and then one. Well, excuse me. We didn't hear what they say about the sideline stuff. Okay. All right, so the Niners come out. We've got two up top, one at the bottom. Juice in motion, fake the handoff. Whoa, CMC there. Mac Jones throwing it across the field, getting it to George Kittle, who might have got a yard or two on that one. Also, for anybody who does this is like one of the best flavors ever. This Sprite Zero Sugar Cherry Lime. So good. All right, so we got second and 7. CMC with a semi-screen. CMC getting the first down. CMC cutting the corner off the 50-yard line, getting down to about the 40 or so. Nice start with the second quarter by the Niners, so second half. Excuse me. All right, one up top, one at the bottom. Hand off to CMC this time, going up the middle. Makes the first guy miss, keeps chugging along, gets about 6. CMC, if he finishes this season on track, he needs to be studied. All right, here we go. We got a tight formation with just one up top. And out to Brian Robinson, getting out, pushed up the middle. Really close to the first down on that one. So that was like a 3rd and 1, or if not the first down on that one. All right, we got Brian Robinson in the backfield. Hand off to him right up the middle, and look at that. We got a first down. How many of us have been screaming for something along that rather than the other shit that we've been doing? Oh, look at this. Brian Robinson with getting a few carries in a row this time. All right, we got a nice tight formation here with B Rob in the backfield. And toss it out to B Rob. He's going to cut up the middle. Nice hole up the middle. Getting to 10, down to about the 15-yard line. Nice run there by B Robinson. All right, Brian Robinson's still in the backfield, but this time we got Juice joining him back here. Juice in motion. Hand off to Brian Robinson's trying to get the corner and does not. Looks like we lost a yard on that one, so we got 2nd and 11 coming up. All right, CMC in the backfield. Juice in motion. Mac back to pass. Mac throwing over the middle to CMC, getting down to 5-yard line. Down to about these 2 on the great swing pass out there to him. Nice pass and the route adjustment by CMC. All right, we got Juice in the. Okay, I didn't see Ryan Robinson back there. So we got Juice in the back for I formation. Fake to B Robinson. Juice. Can he hit the corner? Juice gets down to about the half-yard line. So we had second and goal down here for the Niners. Good drive as long as we can put it in. Gotta put it in. Ryan Robinson is staying in the game right now. Look for a big, heavy, I formation again. Yep, there we go. I formation, Juice leading with Bean Robinson, JJ in motion, hand off to Ryan Robinson, breaks the tackle, goes in for the touchdown, his second of the year. Good drive to start the second half by the Niners. That's what we want to see. I love the combination of Brian Robinson and CMC. That is a deadly combination. Boom. Just took his tackler and put him straight to the ground. Great run. Great block. Good block up front by Juice to get him in to free him. All right, then we go Eddie P for the field goal. It is up. It is good. The Niners have cut into the lead. Now down by only one score, 14-7, with a good drive to start the second quarter. So excuse me, second half. Be right back. All right, ADP kicking off to the Rams as the Niners cut into the lead, cutting it to a one-score game. Sorry, stayed up all late last night watching the League of Legends World Championship, so I didn't go to sleep. So I am tired. Kind of a short kick by Eddie. Bringing it out to about the 36-yard line. Let's see if the defense can stop a little bit here and get the ball back. All right, here we go. Got two tight ends at the bottom. Handoff going out the middle, getting about 6.5 yards or so. Excuse me. All right, so we got 2nd and 4 here to go. We got 9 minutes left to go into this third quarter. Three tight ends set. They get a cut back, and he's going to. Oh, we stopped him, and then he's going to push forward for the. Oh, we had him tackled for a gain of only about a yard, but then on the second push, looks like he got the first down on that one. We had him. We had him. We got 1st and 10. We got 2 up top, 1 at the bottom. One in motion crossing the formation top to bottom. Stafford back to pass. Scrambling out to the side, throwing it. Gotten about 4 or 5 on that one. Got a flag on the play now. They're going to say something wrong with the hit. Watch. That was a late hit by Bethune. You're always going to call that. All right, Rams 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line of the Niners. Got 1 in motion, fake the handoff. Stafford rolling, looking. He's got some pressure and just tries to do a little flick pass. Does not get it over. They were going for a kill shot on that one. All right, let's see what we got. We got 2nd and 10 here. Stafford back to pass. Stafford waiting, throwing sidearm out. Good tackle down there by Demo. As far as I can tell, it's only about the 2nd or 3rd time we've gone up to Demo on that one. Excuse me. All right, we got 3rd and 2 coming up here for the Rams. It trips up top to the bottom, empty backfield. Now Kyron Williams comes into the backfield. 3 and 2. And he's an incomplete pass. Blitz getting to them, holding them to hopefully a field goal. It looks like they're going to be going for it on the 4th and 2. Big stop for the Niners defense if we can stop them here. All right. Trips up top. Throwing it over the middle. Puka Nacua with a catch for the first down. Puka Nacua getting about 5 or 6 on that one when they only needed 2. All right, there we go. 1st and 10 in the red zone for the Rams. We got the handoff. Gets a good block, and he's going to get down to about the 12, 11-yard line. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Stafford under center. Handoff right up the middle. Getting about 4 or 5 on that one. All right, here we go. They're changing the play, spreading the formation out. Matthew Stafford throwing, caught. Ooh, gets down to about the 1-yard line by Parkinson. So it's going to be 1st and goal for the Rams. All right, we got 3 tight ends in for the Rams. Handoff going right up the middle, and the Niners stop him. Good stop by D. Winters and the rest of the defensive line. Good job, defense. All right, there we go. We got 2nd and goal coming up for the Rams here. Let's see if they stick with a 3 tight end set. Nope, they're going to spread it out. Adams is wide open after Malik Mustafa giving up the touchdown to Devontae Adams. Ugh. Not much you can do about that one. All right. The kick is up and it is good. So the Rams have come down after the Niners scored and put up another 7 of their own to extend the lead back to 2 scores, 14, 28 to 14. Be right back. All right. Rams kick off leading 28 to 14, 2:39 left to go in this third quarter. Scott Moore getting another good return. Let's see. All right, Niners come out. Mac is under center. CMC going motions out. Mac back to pass. Throwing over the middle to CMC. CMC breaks a couple of tackles and gets about 9 on that catch. Excuse me. Here we go. Hand off. CMC up the middle, getting the first down and getting about 4 more on that one. All right, we got 2 up top, 2 tight ends in the bottom. Kendrick in motion. Mac back to pass. McKivitz getting blown up, throwing over the middle to George Kittle. George Kittle dragged somebody up to the 50-yard line for a gain of about 4 to 5 yards on that one. All right, here we go. Take the hand off to CMC. Mac back to pass. Mac scrambling to the side, telling the receiver to go. Kendrick Bourne with a big catch down the middle. Thought about tossing it over to CMC, but thought better about it. Ugh. Shit me, how tired I am. Like I said, I didn't sleep last night. Stayed up all last night watching the League of Legends World Championships. All right, let's see. We got Juice in motion. Fake the hand off to CMC. Juice is open. Can he make this guy miss? He hits him, runs him over for a gain of about 4 to 5 yards. Nice run and catch afterwards by Juice. All right, end of the third quarter. Niners driving. See if we can get to within the score. 14 to 28. All right, CMC cutting up the middle, getting about 4.5 yards on that carry. We got Mr. Caradome in the house. How's it going, brother? So we got 2nd and 5 coming up for the Niners. Looks like CMC is coming out, so we'll be getting some B-Rob here in a second. All right, we got splits in the backfield. Mac back to pass. Mac throwing over the middle to Kittle, who's going to be about a yard short of the first down, so bringing up a 3rd and 1. B-Rob. B-Rob or sneak. Let's not do anything. Keep it simple, stupid. All right, let's see what we can do here. Mac's playing a pretty good game here. Very efficient game. All right, we got CMC in the backfield. We're going to sneak Mac Jones forward for the first down. Again, why did we not do that earlier when we were down here? All right, we got 1st and goal with the Niners on the Rams 9-yard line. All right, we got 2 at the bottom in a tight formation. CMC is motioning out. Mac back to pass. Stepping up in the pocket, scrambling around. Looks like Luke Farrell is in the touchdown for an end zone. 49ers touchdown. Nice scramble around and getting open for that. Nice drive for the Niners. Pulling within a score. You see that look there for the Rams player? That's a little doubt creeping in. That's good. Look at Kittle clearing out that side from everybody. And Luke Farrell just staying right there. All right, then we got ADP coming in for the field goal. ADP gets blocked. So we don't get it within. We're still within one scoring, but it's with 8. It's not 7. All right, Niners score for a good drive. Cut the score down to 28-20. Be right back. All right, we're back with the Niners kicking off. We're still in a one-score game here, ladies and gentlemen. And the Niners defense has been picking it up. Oh, good seam of getting out to about the 37-yard line. Excuse me. I can see the Rams going to a really power running game here. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, we've got the I formation with one out to the bottom. Got one in motion, put two at the bottom. Fake the handoff. Stafford looking deep. Looking for Ferguson. Ooh, in and out of his hands. Gifford on the coverage. I All right, we got 2nd and 10 coming up here. We got trips to the bottom, one up top. Stafford back to pass. Basically, wide receiver screen to Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua diving through Niners, getting the first down out to about the 47-yard line. Ooh, Devontae Adams look like maybe a little back issue. Ooh, that's not a good one. All right, we got 3 tight ends sent, one at the bottom. One in motion. Fake the handoff to going deep to Ferguson, who gets down to about the 18-yard line. A little bit of a push off there by Ferguson. All right. Devontae Adams looks like he's in some serious pain. Almost like he kept reaching for his back. I got the tight formation again. Gonna fake the handoff to Kyron Williams. And Parkinson is wide open, getting down to about the 10-yard line or so. Jair Brown cannot do anything physical. He's a good coverage man, but after that, he's pretty much useless. Devontae Adams out there looks like he's going to try and get a little bit of a run on, get a little stretch. We got a first to go by the Rams here. They are kicking our butt with this tight formation. Hand off to Kyron Williams. Kyron Williams cuts up the middle for a touchdown. Okay. Thought there might have been a flag there, but nothing's going on. Looks like we have some extra credit going on afterwards. That 3 tight end sent is just kicking our ass today. There's nothing we can do about it. We are missing Alfred Collins up the middle. All right, Rams kick it up, make it 35-20. So we're down by 15 with 10 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. We'll be right back. Yes. Well, I'm not sure if he's hurt or not, but at least Alfred Collins was inactive for today. No explanation as to why. All right, Rams kick the ball. Niners bringing it out, or not bringing it out, but Mac Jones bringing the Niners back out there. Can we do a quick score? Can we do 15-point comeback? And with this offense and this defense, with pretty much everybody beat up. All right, got two in the backfield. Max back to pass. Max got some time throwing over the middle to George Kittle, getting about 5 yard juice is pushing him up forward to about 8 or so. So from 5 to 8. All right, here we go. George is moving from the top to the bottom. Hand off to CMC, trying to get the corner. He's not going to get that corner. He's going to lose 2 yards on that one. All right, here we go. We got 3rd and 4 for the Niners. We have Kendrick in motion going to the bottom. Mac back to pass. Good pass rush. Mac is running around looking for something. Throwing it deep. Almost intercepted. Demarcus Robinson had to come back and try and, play defense on that one. Obviously, we're going for it with this. Here we go, 4th and 4 the Niners. Throwing it over. We got a flag down somewhere for something. Looks like we got some pass interference for George Kittle. Oh, fouls by both teams. Of course there is. That was set. Bull fucking shit. That is another bullshit fucking call by these fucking refs. Jesus fucking hell. All right, Niners here with the 1st and 4 again. Or 4th and 4. That's at least 4. Mac back to pass. Mac throwing it over the middle. It is picked off. Fuck these refs, man. That's all I can say. All right, we'll be back. That's plenty long. His feet were set and he didn't move. Just bullshit. Nice tackle by Kalia Davis. Ugh. All right, we got 2 up top, 2 at the bottom. 2nd and 15 for the Rams. Tight end in motion to the set. Handoff. Corum getting about 7 or 8 on that one. All right, here we go. We got 3rd and 7. Coming the blitz. Oh, we got a wide open Parkinson. Or Higbee, one of their damn fucking tight ends. All right, we're down to about 7 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. This one's getting a little dicey, pretty much. All right, here we go. Tight formation I. Hand out the middle, right up the middle to Corum again. He gets about 3 or 4 on that one. Like I said, they're just going to run out now. I haven't seen Devontae Adams come out again after he just ran that little back. It looked like he almost like tweaked his back doing that little shimmy move that he was trying out there. All right. Got 2 at the bottom, 1 up top on this 2nd and 7. 1 in motion, handoff up the middle to Corum. Corum gets about 4 or 5 to make it a short 3rd and 2 coming up here shortly. All right, here we go. 3rd and 2 for the Niners. Let's get a stop, boys. Let's show some heart here. Matthew back fast, back to throw. Wide open to the tight end. Rams touchdown. Fuck these refs, man. And now the score is going to be 42-20 to the Niners. Or to the Rams. Oh, man. It just... Refs have changed this game so much. Right back. All right. Niners going to say, excuse me. Niners going to see if we can show some heart here. Mac back to pass. Mac going deep over the middle, throwing to Demarcus Robinson, getting close to the 50-yard line. So we got first and 10 again here. Throwing it over the middle again. Sky Moore with that one. Throwing it over the middle again to Demarcus Robinson, getting down to about the 15-yard line. So we're moving the ball pretty good right now. All right, here we go. Mac scrambling around. Mac throwing it over to CMC, getting out of bounds. All right, here we go. We got first and 10. 4:06 left to go in this game. Mac back to pass. Stepping up in the pocket and throwing to CMC. CMC getting down to about the 12-yard line. Ugh. All right, Mac back to pass. Mac going to the end zone. Couldn't find JJ. Oh, now we got a flag. Now we got legal formation. All right, we got trips up top on the 2nd and 11. Max throwing it over the middle, caught by B-Rob, getting back down to the 12-yard line again. All right, we got two up top with Kittle. Mac back to pass. Kittle is wide open. Did he get that? Did he stretch enough? Touchdown, Kittle. Nice touchdown by Kittle. It's definitely going to be a little bit too late, too little too late, but at least this team is going out with some fight. Yep. Nice play by Kittle. Way to toe tap that in. 49ers going for 2 on this one. All right, Mac back to pass. Mac throwing over the middle. Nope. And he gets picked going for the 2. All right, so the Niners are going to cut the score down to 42 to 26. A little bit of a garbage time touchdown. Excuse me. All right, Niners, let's see what we can do here. All right. Here we go with the onside kick. Well, that's going to be it. And I've got stuff to do, and I'm going to call this stream because I am extremely pissed off. Congrats on to the Rams. Good job, refs. I hope you guys covered your fucking parlays and everything. Don't forget to join Jamie. She will be on shortly after the game to do the post-game report. And then me and TJ will be on Tuesday, where we're probably going to yell and scream about refs. All right, everybody.